Okay, folks, it's turn 31. If we look at our messages, Caelum has just sent us 42 nature gems in payment for 7 endless bags of wine, which I'm charging 6 gems each for. Now, they're normally 5 gems, and I have a hammer, so I'm making them for 3, which means I'm making, 100% profit off each of them. Fantastic. I'm forging another dwarven hammer. If I could get down here to forge them, actually I can. I've got Mugeta down here. I can have him, he's building the fortress right now. But next turn, I'll be able to have him forge them, and he gets the 20% discount for the Ancient Forge, which is another gem off. So he can forge them for 2 with a hammer. And we will start having him do that as soon as the fortress is done. It's important to get that fortress done, though. In fact, actually, I think I might just pop out a scout here. Have the scout take over the fort next turn. Yeah, it's not worth a gem to sap 2. It's not worth delaying the fort just for 1 gem. But in any case... So we're going to do that. That's given me a ton of nature gems in addition to all the gems that Ulrich gave me. So I'm empowering carry in nature, and I'm forging a thistle mace, and then next turn I'm going to alchemize a ton of gems, because I have a ton of astral pearls that I can't use, and a crap load of water gems that I can't use. And I'm going to cast Mother Oak on turn 32, which is not usual. Not usual for people who aren't Pangea anyway. But I think I can get it up, and then once I get it up, I'll have a nature gem income of 18 per turn, which is also very much not usual for this point in the game. Right now, my gem income's okay. It's not fantastic. 16, 21, 22, 27. Not fantastic, but pretty decent. I am storming Mammoth Grove. We wiped out the province defense with no casualties whatsoever. It was very minor. We also found the Earthroot Tower in Ctesiphon, so that's why our Earth gem income went up. The God of Uruk has been destroyed. Troops in Mammoth Grove are starting to starve because it's a huge army, but that's okay. And we got some gold from Hanwood, and we've got some death and lost some money in the First Forest, which is right over here. So that's unfortunate, but not too terrible. This madman is just over here seeing the signs and shit. So I don't know. I think he's countering my Dominion, which is kind of a problem, but you know, there's not much to do with him. I can't move him at the moment. So we'll just wait till something comes up that we can actually accomplish with him and do that. We've retaken Star Peaks, put some province defense in it. This army is now moving back in this direction. And as I've mentioned, lots of people are coming against Sceleria. We've got Vanheim over here, which seems unusual, but okay. Vanarus is pushing in against Welrid. Tianchi just took this fort, and they're planning to come up here and take these provinces. Which is okay. I've already told him, look, I'm taking Sceleria. And I don't think anyone here has the firepower to want to negotiate that. So I'll be taking Sceleria, which will be fantastic. And of course, I have plenty of gems to deploy more gems to this army after they storm the castle. So they're storming the castle. I've got these guys up here. I've got several mages set up to Idi, Kimya, and I think there's 4 of them total. Yeah, there's 4 total. So I've got 4 total mages set up to drop fire elementals. I've got, of course, Kinjikatile back here casting flaming arrows. I've got my siege bros in the back, various commanders, some cavemen. And then up front, I've got just a huge mishmash of troops and priests. And yeah, should be a good old time. These priests are going to lay the unholy smack down on the undead. And where is actually my prophet? Where's Peter Parker? There, Peter Parker, where is he at? Yeah, he's up front too. Okay, good. Because for Peter Parker, yeah, ashes to ashes, 25, so 35 for him. And of course does ridiculous armor negating anti-undead damage. So yeah, should be able to burn through the defenses of this fort very rapidly. Take the province, and then we'll move on to Sceleria next turn. So that's basically all we're doing. We're forging, so like I said, I owe Caelum 7 endless bags of wine, so I'm forging 1 right now. I'll be forging 2 next turn, and then the turn after that should be 3, because I'm going to keep forging dwarven hammers. Actually, to be honest, I could probably... I'm not sure about the nature gems. I may actually give the next dwarven hammer to Azan to use to forge more hammers. But we'll think about that, and I want to get him down here. I really do, because it would save me 3 gems per hammer, so I could forge them for 12, and then use a hammer on top of that. I'd be forging dwarven hammers for 10 gems, which is pretty fucking sweet, bro. Another black sorcerer coming out next turn. I have quite a bit of money, actually, so we're pumping out some spider knights real quick. Up here, we're getting shamans. Over here, we've got some Machaka hoplites and a few pygmies. Over here, plenty of Machaka hoplites coming out. And up here, we're recruiting a sorcerer and no troops. So that is that. Now, I could actually use horticulturists as scouts, which would be sort of hilarious because they can also cast Swarm. And I've got a palisade going over here in Forest of Pine. Plus, of course, I have that upgrade. And up here, we're just going to preach. I've got 36 pygmies right now. I'm churning out a couple of spider knights and more pygmies. Actually, I just want more. I just want pygmies. Just max pygmies over here. That'll be fine. And then these two guys will be able to join the siege of Sceleria. So that'll be another, like, 60 or so, 70, something like that, pygmies to replace losses. And it should be good. So we're going to take Sceleria. After we take Sceleria, I may actually split this army slightly to place Thingwoods or Druidland under siege, because I want to get at least one of them as well. Because this is, I mean, this is a pretty decent grip of territory from the war, but I want as much as possible. Tianchi is going to end up with that. Vanarus has already got that, and is probably going to end up with these three, I imagine. I'll contact him and make sure we can make a deal there. And then I'll try to take Thingwoods and Druidland. But in any case, that's the turn. This is going really well. This is going better than I anticipated the playthrough as middle-aged Machaka going, to be fully honest. Having some money issues, of course, but the death basket from Uruk, very, very handy. I'm going to take that as just compensating for me playing this shitty nation. And that, and on top of that, turning into the world's, in a weird way, Ermor is actually helping me because I'm turning into the world's armory. I'm forging them all the supply items that they need to fight Ermor. And that is really, really helping me. Now, the other thing that I can do... Azan is forging a Dwarven Hammer right now. Once I hit construction level 6, he can forge the magic item that casts Holy Fire. I think I can forge that. And so that would also enable more anti... That would be another anti-Ermor item I could sell people. And I can also forge Skulls of Fire once I hit construction level 6, which I will definitely want to do. And I talked about Skull Mentors before. And I may want to do that, but I don't have any of my Death 2 guys really available. Well, I have Death 2 guys over here. Could get some hammers over there. I really want to do all my forging down in the Micton, though, because especially for those higher level items, construction bonus 20 is silly. It's super, super good. Much better than just having a hammer. So that would say that I want to get these guys started walking over in this direction. But they would take a while to walk over there. Instead, I think I just need to upgrade this and start recruiting sorcerers down here. And the sorcerer randoms, I'll just give them hammers and start them forging, and it'll be great. So, that's turn 31. I'll see y'all in turn 32, which should happen pretty soon. Alright, folks, turn 32. First of all, a message from Nazca paying tribute to Uruk. And announcing that he is going to be attacking Ermor. Fantastic. We didn't find any magic sites in Solan. We have Empower to carry in nature, also fantastic. And Sceleria actually did a very clever thing this turn. He sallied out of Mammoth Grove instead of allowing himself to be trapped entirely in his fortress. And boy howdy was it a sally. So, what we have over here is approximately, I think, 1,000 units. It's like 700 or 800 undead. A whole bunch of thaumaturgs. And some Grand Thaumaturgs. He has 3, I think, Grand Thaumaturgs with Death Gems. At least one of them is Twice-Born. They may all be Twice-Born. I mean, Sceleria has the Death Gem income to do that sort of ludicrous stuff. So I think all 3 of them are... Nope, only 2 of them are Twice-Born. On my side, of course, I have my huge pile of infantry out front, kind of mishmashed up, and then I have a huge pile of pygmies in the back, and then behind them I have all my cave grubs that are doing my heavy lifting siege work. So... lots of spiders, lots of vine ogres, lots of fire ants, lots of sorcerers and priests, and I actually cannot fast forward this battle. It's not possible. This battle lags like hell, as you can see right there. Especially when the divine spells start going off, ooh baby. It becomes a problem. Yeah, so, yeah. So basically, they come in, the flaming arrows start storming in on them, doing all kinds of damage. They drop Unholy Protection for magic resistance. It doesn't affect all the undead, it only affects some of them. And they also drop Unholy Power, which increases attack skill and combat speed. It really doesn't matter, to be honest. With the sheer quantity of both flaming arrows and banishment that are coming in, plus the spiders netting everybody in the front lines, it is bad. Most of the damage that's being done to me, and there is damage being done to me, but almost all of it is actually friendly fire. One of the Grand Thaumaturgs does drop Rigor Mortis, and I think, if I'm right, one of them summons air elementals or something? Yeah, he's the one who cast Unholy Protection. That's what all the magic resistance rolls are about. And then he casts Anti-Magic. Those two actually don't stack, I don't believe. And then he starts getting hit by the Rigor Mortis. Oh, Apostasy. He's trying to turn my Sacreds against me, so that's fair. That's a reasonable strategy. That's another casting of Rigor Mortis, so you don't need two people casting that. But in any case, lots and lots of fatigue damage hitting everybody. It's a good strategy. The problem is, these battles don't last long enough for it to work, because the flaming arrows annihilate his undead so quickly that it just doesn't, and the ashes to ashes, of course, also do, that it just doesn't barely matter. Meanwhile, I've got fire elementals swarming forward over here, kind of holding the line, and so many undead have already been killed that the Celerian cultists and the Grand Thaumaturgs and everyone are routing. The commanders are actually running, just because they're HP routed. So much damage has been done so quickly that they can't tolerate it, so they all just flee. Now I can fast forward. The flaming arrows, as you can see, actually do a lot of friendly fire to me, which is really unfortunate, but, you know, it is what it is. So, in Mammoth Grove there, yeah, okay, so it was, overall long dead, over 600, gladiators, ghouls, yeah, so it was about 700 undead, plus gladiators, and then Thaumaturgs, Celerian cultists, and Grand Thaumaturgs. The Grand Thaumaturgs successfully fled, as did the Celerian cultists. The Thaumaturgs were all killed. On my side, casualties, I lost 5 Black Hunters. Once again, most of this is just a friendly fire. 5 Black Hunters, all my Fire Ants, a couple of my Great Spiders. My Hunter Spiders actually went up, and all the kills from the Black Hunters were assigned to them. 362 kills on the Pygmies. I lost 7 of my Hoplites and all of my Vine Ogres, and for retreating, a couple of my units did retreat. Then, we have the battle at the actual fortress, which was much smaller. Fortunately, I did still have some gems here. Specifically, I had managed to give Ktegak enough gems to cast Flaming Arrows again. So he does cast Flaming Arrows again. It's just a small posse in here of ghouls supporting a whole bunch of Celerian cultists that have been caught in the fortress, and we just blast them. The ghouls are just annihilated in very short order. Flaming arrows start going in against the slingers on the walls, and I hit some of my own guys with flaming arrows again. Unfortunately, so we kill everything. Unfortunately, I lose 2 of my sorcerers, and that's because of the Hunter Spiders. Hunter Spider friendly fire has become a very serious issue for me at this point. They're killing a lot. So yeah, so we killed another about 150, barely worth mentioning. We lost another 23 units, including 14 Pygmies, 2 Machaka Hoplites. The Hunter Spider friendly fire is responsible for both sorcerers. I checked the logs, and I think some of the Pygmies. So it's just kind of an issue. Once again, that's those same 2 units that retreated. We were attacked in Vician Forest. A random raiding party of Long Dead went out here to attack the fort, which is fair. We were also attacked in Troya. These Long Dead ran slap bang into my army that I was deploying as reinforcements, and lost. So this was a small raiding party on his side. Also a small group on my side, but with a little bit more investment because it has a lot of summons. And so basically my summons went to fight their skeletons, and the summons won just barely. You can see I have a heavy infantry, heavy cavalry. I've got my swarm bugs, my great spiders routed, but the vine ogres held the line, and the great spiders did entangle the skeletons enough. So overall, it was just kind of a mutually assured destruction for everybody. But the armies of Sceleria were eventually routed. You can see my Eye of the Lord got 13 kills, Vine Ogres got 27. So we wiped them all out. Unfortunately, like I said, we lost pretty much everything involved. We actually, our mounted commander actually retreated into enemy territory and was killed. The sorcerer got away intact. But in any case, so Stima, with what remains, 28 Pygmies, are going to move down here. I've got all of my troops patrolling, except for Ktegak, who's building a lab. I'm doing that because he tore his lab down, and of course I'm out of fire gems, so I can't cast flaming arrows, which is key to the strategy. So, what I need, also, Sceleria strikes back over here. Vanarus is besieged. I don't know where Vanarus' army has gone. He may have actually been defeated, which is sort of hilarious. But, in Mammoth Grove, I'm patrolling because I think he's going to launch a group of undead in a bid to pin me inside this fortress. Actually, I guess it doesn't matter much, except that it costs me turns. I don't want it to cost me turns, so what I'm doing is, yeah, I'm patrolling. I've just destroyed, you know, over 800 skeletons. His numbers are dwindling seriously dwindling. Unless, once again, he deploys all of his ghouls, which he has not done so far and which I don't anticipate him doing. He'll run into this patrolling force and lose, even without the flaming arrows. If he were to deploy, like, down here, he could probably send, like, 400 long dead, another 100 or 150 long dead. He could probably muster 500 or 600 long dead to attack Mammoth Grove, especially if he sent these guys as well. But, he'd just run into this, and, okay. Without the flaming arrows, the pygmies will be much, much less effective, but they'll also not do any friendly fire. And, the priests will be just as effective. And the priests do damage. The priests do damage. Like, that's 204 kills on the Eyes of the Lord. The priests, 17 priests and my prophet, do, like, easily 2/3 of the total damage that all of my pygmies do. It's an impressive amount. Plus, of course, my infantry and spiders and such get a not inconsiderable number of kills. So even without flaming arrows, I've readjusted things so that my hunter spiders won't be causing as much friendly fire. Hopefully, they will still probably cause a little bit of friendly fire. But I've readjusted those guys out so they can do their job. I think I can just clean up a counterattack with these units and with the priests without actually needing the flaming arrows. And then that will enable me to kill some of his units and then move in to besiege Sceleria effectively. I still have 581 siege strength here. So this fort, 300 wall integrity, 860 units, but once again, it's mainly long dead. So at most, they have like 200 or so siege defense, which means I can still break that fort in one turn. And that will be the plan. I'm going to break Sceleria in one turn, capture it. And Sceleria is, of course, the big prize, because Sceleria is the thing that has the province that has 5 gem income. Down over here, still pumping out pygmies. Down here, like I said, I'm being attacked by these long dead, but I have 2 priests and 60 pygmies defending, so I'm not super worried. If these long dead came in to attack me, I would just be banishing the hell out of them. He'd have to deploy a lot more troops than that in order to actually get into Vician Forest. And if he wants Vician Forest that bad, okay. Like, he can capture it. You know, it's not that big a deal. We're just gonna preach. To be honest, I could probably break siege. I don't want to break siege, because then I'd end up surrounded, and I'd probably lose the, my Eyes of the Lord to, like, lucky javelin throws or something. Anyway, down here, Tianchi has taken these provinces, like he said. I've informed him that I will be going to take Sceleria, but it'll take 1 turn extra. And up here, here's the interesting thing. We're casting Mother Oak. I've alchemized most of my gems. We're casting Mother Oak with 80 nature gems. We're also empowering Kukimbia because I had enough death gems left to do that, so he'll be death 3. With a Skull Staff, he'll then be death 4, which is, of course, a very valuable point to reach because it lets you cast, lets you summon Wraith Lords, if I recall correctly. And death 5 lets you summon Liches. I'll well, 1 second. Let me actually double check that. So, yeah, Lichcraft is death 5. Oh, Wraith Lords is also death 5. Okay, so death 4 lets you get Bane Lords. Death 3 gives you Spectres. Death 3 gives you Mound Fiends. Death 3 gives you King of Banefires. I guess I don't really need Death 4. It's a step on the way to getting up to Wraith Lords and Death level 5. What does Death level 4 give you here? Ah, yes, Death level 4 gives you Rigor Mortis, Life After Death, and the Ritual of Rebirth, which can be useful. Anyway, it's good to get a head start on empowering and boosting up like that. So we are going to empower Kukimbia to death level 3. And over here we've got Zamoyoni, who randomed fire 3, like Kinjikatile. Except, actually, yeah, he's exactly the same as Kinjikatile, so that's fine. And he's just researching. Everyone's just researching here. In terms of items, nothing's really changed. We are sending the first of the bags of wine to Caelum that they commissioned. And so we're forging 2 more this turn. We've got 1 up here that we're forging at a 2 gem discount for a total of 3. And then 1 down here that we're forging at a 3 gem discount for a total of 2. So 5 gems, 2 endless bags of wine. Pretty good deal. on my account. We're also forging yet another Dwarven Hammer. So that's where my Earth Gems are going. Next turn I will have the Hidden Underneath spell, which I would actually love to cast with Azan, but I feel like having a Dwarven Hammer right now is valuable. We'll be able to cast that spell fairly soon anyway, especially if once my Nature Gem income is 18. That'll be pretty freaking sweet, bro. So, that's the turn. Like I said, we're going to be delayed a turn here in Mammoth Grove, but we're just annihilating Sceleria, and we've annihilated a lot of Celeria's production now, because we killed 26 Celerian cultists. That's like 70 skeletons per turn. And we've now taken one of his central forts, and we're using that central fort to reinforce our own troops. Patrolling will enable me to prevent him from interrupting my reinforcement. And also we've got an extra death gem per turn, which is pretty sweet. So, should be good. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in turn 33. Okay, folks, turn 33, and we have successfully cast Mother Oak, as well as empowered ourselves in death. We also hit enchantment level 6. It says nothing was next in the research queue, so I guess my orders in that way didn't get passed along somehow. Relay has sent me some more nature gems for some bags of wine. We searched for magic sites, didn't find any, and Margod, funny guy, god of Machaka, lord of astral fires, master of death and rebirth, has broken free. Also, Master Blaster, the fate of the world, guardians of the tablets of destiny, he whose work is perfect, has claimed the outer throne. Methinks someone was watching Accidental Ascension 3. In any case, Sceleria has started to get a little bit more frosty, so they're sending out some troops. They've attacked Emicton. They attacked Mammoth Grove, ran into my patrollers, and just fucking bounced. So we wiped out about 80 long dead there. They also attacked Troya, so they now control that province once again, so that's up here. And they're just doing this just to keep me on my toes. This is one thing that Sceleria can do very, very well. They can just be sending out expansion parties, essentially, of about 80 long dead every turn forever. And just keep on doing that without ever stopping. Over here, I'm patrolling for the unrest there. One of my armies, this is an unexpected event that I've never gotten before. While fighting an evil mage, some of your men has been turned into beasts. They retain their loyalty to the realm. So, one of my armies here, fortunately not the one with the Spider Knights, just fucking turned into Foul Spawn, which is sort of hilarious. So we've got Orm the Foul Spawn. We've got all these foul beasts who are actually pretty good units. They have very low protection, but they cause fear. They're magic beings with pretty good magic resistance and morale, and they have 4 armor-piercing tentacle attacks each. Not high damage, but armor-piercing nonetheless. So, you know, okay, I'll take it. We also have some regular foul spawn down here. So they're gonna come in and attack me, and we're gonna set Carry to patrol here. He's gonna have like 6 nature gems, and he will cast with his nature gems. He can cast Relief and or Wooden Warriors. Actually, I don't need him because just throwing Wooden Warriors will be enough. I don't have mass regeneration yet, unfortunately. I would love to, but I don't. So no, just research. I don't need you. All I need is a nature 3. Actually, you lot can start summoning Ivy or Vine Ogres again, just to have some Vine Ogres. Because, of course, with Mother Oak, my nature gem income is now 18. So I'm forging an endless bag of wine there. I'm forging an endless bag of wine there. I'm forging another one over here. And then I'm forging a 4th because I have a number of orders that I still have to fulfill. I am sending sending 2 endless bags of wine to Caelum. I've already sent them 1, so they're owed 4 more. Relay is also owed 2. So next turn I'll send 2 more to Caelum and 2 to Relay, and then I'll send the final 2 to Caelum. These armies I'm actually going to move over here and have them move and patrol in case this army comes up here to try and mess with my stees. Down here I'm leaving 2 priests with a few random units and 19 province defense to patrol this province. That should be able to hold off a similarly small pack of long dead. And the rest of the army is rolling right on into Sceleria. So, we've got the army charging on in. We've got our spiders kind of separated out at the front. That's the feral spiders, that is. Our mages are actually not summoning fire elementals. They are summoning will-o'-the-wisps, because those don't have to go through my own army. And, of course, we've got the flaming arrows. And I've got this scout carrying a whole bunch of extra gems coming along with. And the reason he's doing that, we've also got some people casting Swarm. The reason he's doing that is because I don't want my fire gems to be burned. And what we'll do with those fire gems is we will then set up to summon a whole bunch of fire elementals, because elementals are critical in storming forts. We'll have mages off to the side, they'll summon fire elementals, it'll be great. Over here, this fort is broken, but it has 2 priests and about 70 pygmies inside, so those long dead I don't think will actually be able to storm the place effectively. Like, they'll storm in. I have Machaka archers on the walls, which will distract them to some degree unless they've been ordered to attack rear. And even if they are ordered to attack rear, they'll be charging into all these casts of ashes to ashes, which will burn them down pretty quickly. Over here, this fort is less than half destroyed, so unless he brings in more troops, this fort will hold for at least 1 more turn. And then if necessary, I can give Mugeta one of my Thistle Maces, and he'll be able to cast nature spells like Wooden Warriors, or just spam out more Swarm, which I think will enable me to hold this fort as well. This fort is less powerfully defended because it doesn't have priests, but of course if this fort is defended successfully, then I can send these priests to attack this army, and they'll die, but they'll wipe out a lot of the army. Caelum has taken this throne, which is very, very unfortunate. I don't like that. I don't want it. I don't want to see it. I don't think that's good. I don't approve. I want that throne. We're moving more troops in this direction. We've got... Who's moving from here? Rashikis is moving up here to site search. We've got even more troops. Rashikis doesn't need to move there to site search. Rashikis can move over there to site search. We've got even more troops flowing over towards the Celerian front. And overall, I'm feeling pretty good about myself. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you on turn 34. Now, for research, we've set up, or I'm going to grab Thaumaturgy level 3, which will give me Augury. And actually, I should grab level 4 for Gnome Lore as well. But I may let that ride for... Yeah, okay, Thaumaturgy level 4, Construction level 6. We need to focus on ramping up a little bit because, of course, we do now have my god. Funny guy. He has 40 research points, so right now he's just researching. But what I want to do is try to break into blood. Because if I can break into blood, then I can use him to summon vampire lords, and that's kind of a pretty decent late game strategy. I still do not even have the money to be recruiting mages out of all my forts. I've got sorcerers coming out there. I've got witch doctors there. Over here, I've got a sorcerer. I'm not recruiting anything in either of those forts, of course, and down here, I have no recruitment whatsoever. I really should be recruiting something down here, I think, but... Tell you what, let's cut that down to a witch doctor. And this, I'm recruiting sorceresses. I've got a another black sorcerer here as well, by the way, Zamuyoni. So I'll do something with him. Over here, cut that down to a witch doctor. And then down here, I can be recruiting a sorcerer. And up here, we can make that a lizard shaman. So we're getting some pretty good lizard shamanage going on. We've got Pandu the sorcerer up here. Dark knowledge won't actually help me because, excuse me, everything up here has already been knowledged. Yep, so we're just going to roll right on. Oh, and we, I think in Mammoth Grove, yeah, we beat off that army in Mammoth Grove. And beyond that, we killed a whole bunch of brigands and troublemakers and such. And we got 2 new famous heroes. Saami now has unsurpassed cruelty, and Peter Parker has lightning reflexes. So Saami, his unsurpassed legendary cruelty, increased chance of dealing permanent afflictions, and he causes fear, which is sort of hilarious. That's actually really hilarious, but in any case, but that's all he gets. So, that I think is the turn. I think we're going to roll into turn 34 here. Doing okay. Doing pretty darn well. I like it. Love it. Gotta have it. I'm actually going to cancel that guy so that I can pump out a whole bunch of pygmies over there. And with my 2 priests there, plus the foul spawn and such, they're moving and patrolling. I want some kind of magical support for them. Tell you what, Carrie, give that to Pongwa, because Pongwa's not nearly so valuable. He can patrol, and we can script him to cast Howl, and then just cast spells. And we'll give him, like, 5 nature gems. So there we go. That'll do it. And then we can give him those troops, and they can stand out front and be on hold and attack, so they'll go in behind the foul spawn. And the wolves might actually be able to eat the Celerian cultist if he comes down to fight. So we got mostly people researching, forging endless bag of wine. I can't forge another hammer this turn yet. Although I'll tell you what I might do here is alchemize my... I don't really want to alchemize any of these. Never mind. And we've also got a Death 3. So you can actually forge a Skull Staff to make yourself Death 4, and that'll come in handy sometime, I'm sure. So, thanks for watching. See y'all in turn 34.